The first time I performed live was just at this little dive bar in my hometown that had open mic nights. I was probably 15 years old, and my dad drove me down there. I was so scared I couldn't even look at the crowd. I just closed my eyes and kept my head down, and I just played some cover song. I can't remember what I played, but just some cover song to about 5 people who were also playing the open mic night. But just that feeling of getting onto a stage and expressing myself creatively was an amazing feeling. I like Pina Coladas down in PCB. Give me that whiskey and cola, beat that old pine tree. Ain't nothing wrong with that white sand and some ocean breeze. Right now this lakefront view is paradise to me, paradise to me. When I was probably about 21 is when I started playing bars and restaurants and clubs and stuff. I got this one gig that sticks out in my mind. I played this Mexican restaurant in Atlanta called Mexico Lindo. They would hire me for $100 to play out on the patio where everybody ate. And I showed up there one day and it's raining, so no one's on the patio. So the manager tells me, hey, I'm gonna need you to play inside. I'm like, okay. He's like, but here's the thing, we're gonna have to put you in the foyer area, right next to the front door. But this kid comes up and starts watching me. And so I was like, well, he likes it at least, And he watches me for about 5 minutes. I'm playing the song, and then when I get done, I'm like, hey, buddy, I was like, you like country music? And he was like, oh, no, man, I just want some gum. And I realized I was sitting in front of a gumball machine. And so that's always really stuck with me, because that was probably my lowest moment where I was thinking to myself, is this something I should really do for a living, or is this just a passion? But I wouldn't have had it any other way. I cut my teeth playing the bars around Georgia for years and years, sometimes to good crowds, sometimes to bad crowds, sometimes to nobody. But I learned a lot, I learned how to use my voice. I learned how to banter with the crowd and everything and all that stuff that only time can teach you. So I'm grateful for that time of life that I learned how to perform live. And then also, one of the shows that I performed live, I met Zach Brown at, and that completely changed my trajectory in music and opened up a brand new door that if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be sitting here. And I met my wife. So you'll see I got a gumball machine in my recording studio. And it's just a little reminder of how far I've come, and to not forget that. Paradise to me, yeah. Paradise to me. I've just been so obsessed with music since I first heard it as a little kid, and I've just always known that this is what I wanted to do. I remember when we were living back in Georgia, we were living in my buddy's basement, paying him about, I think it was $250 a month. And my wife, she was right there with me in the basement telling me that I was good enough, and I was gonna do some in music. And I was telling her the same thing, because she's fantastic as a creative, as a songwriter, as a singer. And so we were just there rooting each other on, encouraging each other to keep going and keep believing.
Before Niko goes on stage, we always have a moment together. I'll go like this and I'll say basement mentality. And what that is it's that moment for us to both remember where it all started and where that drive and that hunger comes from. Because it was in those years of being in the basements that we kind of manifested everything. We manifested this house that we're in now and having a studio at the house. These are all things that we talked about when we were living in that basement. And so it's just a moment for us to get back to that.
Kind of like the gumball machine. It's just another reminder of how far we've come. And I think of my music as our music. It's not just me. My wife and one of my good buddies, Josh Murdy, we wrote all the songs together. We produced all the songs together. And I just feel grateful, because I came from playing Mexican restaurant 4 years and sushi bars and stuff like that to playing here for people to hear my original music. And it always kind of hits me almost kind of like, when they say at the end of your life, your life flashes before your eyes. Sometimes before I go on stage, my path like flashes before my eyes, or I think about it, and it all kind of is like, wow, like all this and now here, and I can't help but feel grateful.